Marriage is a union of two matured persons of the opposite sex in view of building a home. Please, if I can get more volume on this mic, I will be grateful. Marriage is a union of two matured persons of the opposite sex in view of building a home. Now, this is the general definition of marriage that we know or is generally accepted. It's a union between two mature persons of the opposite sex in view of building a home. That's the general definition that applies to, in our everyday life. But there's a way I like to define marriage, personally. Not that this definition is wrong, it's correct, 100% correct. But there's a way I personally like to define marriage for emphasis sake on some areas. To me, marriage is a matrimonial bond between two friends of the opposite sex who have chosen to seal up their friendship under God till Jesus comes. That is my own definition for marriage. I take it again. Marriage is a matrimonial bond between two friends of the opposite sex who have chosen to seal up their friendship under God till Jesus comes. If you have this perspective about marriage, you will hardly have issues in marriage. I don't like to go by the first definition that says with a view of building a home, two mature persons of the opposite. It is correct. But I like to emphasize on friendship when I talk about marriage. I like to emphasize there is a bond between two friends. Now, the whole idea of marriage, talking about marriage, how is it supposed to even start? So marriage is not something like, okay, I have reached primary 4, or I've reached 4 years old. Let me now start not KG3. Or I've reached 5 years old, let me go and register in primary 1. Or I've reached 11 years, I think I should be in secondary school now. I have reached 17 years, I should be in university. And then I've reached 24, 25 years, I should be married. No. Funny enough, that's the idea that most of us have. When you get to a certain age, when you get to a certain stage in life, so it's like you are supposed to be married. First of all, let's establish that marriage is not compulsory. I don't know if you know that marriage is not compulsory. Marriage is not compulsory. Yes. Marriage is not compulsory. So that's why always when I see people who are not yet married and somehow they're not feeling happy, I tell them, I say, see, marriage is not compulsory. So don't feel bad that you're not married because of what people say. Or because of the impression, because somehow in our generation that's become like a stigma when you get to a certain age. See, excuse me. When somebody tell you that, when will you even marry? Tell them, excuse me, is it compulsory? Show me in the Bible where Bible say marriage is compulsory. Is it among the 10 commandments? Did you see anywhere in the Bible where Bible say thou must be married? It's not there. It's a choice. Even St. Paul say, I wish you don't marry. Don't marry. Be free like me so that somebody is celebrating. Before you celebrate, wait though. Marriage truly is not compulsory. So don't let anybody make you feel bad. Tell them it's not compulsory. It's a choice. You chose to be married. Now I am not ready. When I am ready, I will. It is your choice. I will marry when I want to marry. However, it is not compulsory, but then it's a gift. When somebody gives you a gift, it's not your choice whether to use it or not to use it. It's a gift that God gave us. You can decide to access it. You can decide to apply it, enjoy it. You can decide not to. St. Paul even said, don't marry. So it's not compulsory. God will not hold you. Why did you not marry? It's a choice. And marriage is not something like, Anya, come, let's play. It's responsibility. So if you're not ready for the responsibility, don't get into it. Enjoy your life as a single and be happy. But if you know that you are ready for the responsibility, then you can decide. You can choose to. Not because it is a societal construct. It's a societal belief. It's a norm. As a matter of fact, there are some of us that don't like to do regular things. normal things. So you can also decide in your area is like it's becoming a normal thing to marry. But me, I don't want to do normal things. It's your choice. So first of all, kill the mentality of I have reached so age, I have to. No, it's a choice. Praise God. Now let me describe how marriage is supposed to come about. Just to let you know that it is not your father and your mother will not call you when you get to say, hey, you have reached the age, oh, I have not seen the girl. Or you have reached the age, oh, I have not seen the man. No. It's something that's supposed to come up naturally from friendship. Please come. Let me use you as. Come. I need females, like 3. Nice. I need females. Please come. I don't have time. See this thing, I'm rushing. Daddy will soon come and teach. So now let's say me and these people, all of us are friends. I'm trying to teach you how marriage should flow, how it should come out, how it should originate. It should come out naturally, not because you feel you are the age, or your father said, or your mother said, or your friend said. In the first instance, don't even put it in your head like, I have it, I have to. Enjoy your life, live your life, let it come naturally on its own. Now, this is a circle of friends, including me. We are all friends. We meet, maybe we met in school, we met wherever, and so we are just enjoying ourselves as friends. Nobody, no strings attached, nothing. Nobody has anything in mind. And in the course of the friendship, somehow, and I discovered that me and what's your name, Tosin, somehow now becoming more friends than the usual regular group of friends. It's natural. In a group of friends, somehow maybe 1 or 2 persons will not start tilting closer to each other. Yeah, it's natural. Yeah. So when you discover it, don't hold it back. Allow it flow. So now this is a circle of all of us are friends. We always come together. Maybe we read together. And somehow I discovered that there's something that connects me and him that is different from the regular. We understand each other better. You know, there's this thing that I may not be able to explain. I've noticed it. Maybe because I'm a woman, I just feel that I cannot say it. But let me just. But somehow when it happens, he too will be feeling it. Most times, it happens like that. When 2 people are getting closer, you will know that 2 of us are getting closer than the regular group of friends. And so now it has started coming, we are now coming closer. So I've realized it. He too have realized it. And then one day he now tells, among these our friends, there's something about Mitchelle. I'm beginning to feel something. And then one day we now call Mitchelle. And we have been friends. But can we make our own different, a bit different from the regular? Let's take it a bit. I feel something for you. I want to be your, what's the language? It's not French. Okay, I want to do relationship with you, emotional one, romantic one. Let's take it up to that level. And then because I've seen that truly, in the course of the friendship, I understand him more. I gel more, I flow more with him. Then why hold it back? I'll say, yes, fine, let's go. Let's move on. And then at that point, it is now beyond the regular group of friends. Though we are still friends, but 2 of us have discovered that we have something that should tie us closer more than them. It came naturally. Nobody forced it. And then we are not doing relationship. In the course of the relationship, we now discover that, it is working, no. This thing is working. We are not even having issues. We are compatible. It's flowing. At that point, we have done the relationship for a while. And you now see that the thing is flowing. Do you see the angel to tell you that? So he will now come and say, one day he will now give me the big question. Will you marry me? And I will now say, I want to think. What are you thinking? After you have done friends, you discover you are compatible. You have done relationship. In the course of the relationship, what is relationship? Is it sex? No. Now, there's this thing about relationship that I will not do with this person, but I will do with him. It's not sex. But there's this bond I always want me to be with him. There's this special moment that I want to spend with him. We want to hang out. My birthday, I want to do it with him. You in the course of that, you are gathering information about him. What are you even discussing? Your father, your mother, village, brethren, your sister, how many are you? Your weakness, your strength. In the course of relationship, I may not ask these ones. But while doing relationship without marriage in view, I'm getting to know the person I'm doing relationship more. I have to know him because I'm in a relationship with him. And so I'm asking questions about him and I gather as much as information I want to get. I get to know where he's from, his hobbies, and I discover that everything about him is aligning properly with me. And then the day he asked me, will you marry? I said, I'm thinking. What are you thinking? You have done relationship, you have gotten all. The highest thing you say is that, yes, I know we are compatible. But let me pray about this. And then you pray. The truth is that even God has already told you. Friendship works. Relationship works. You now pray, God, do I have your approval on this? He will speak to you. You meet your Father in the Lord. And by the time you get your necessary approvals, spiritually, you move on. That marriage came naturally on its own. Nobody forced it. They did not bring somebody from the north and from the west and say, you have reached the age. I know somebody that has not married. Let us join you together. No. It came naturally. You see that kind of friendship, yes, I like to call it friendship. That kind of friendship or that kind of marriage, it stands the test of time. You can hardly have issues that you cannot handle. Because in the first place, it's not even love that brought you together. Sometimes in marriage, you will look for the love, you won't see it. Yeah. So it's not love that brought you two together. When there was no love, no emotion, nothing, you people were flowing well. Yeah, and then you discover that you always like to be with him, you always like to hang around. You did relationship, you have checked everything about him, he's okay. And now you're doing marriage, you will hardly have issues. Because when the love is not there, that same friendship that kept you will still keep you going until the love will return. That's how it goes. Sometimes in marriage, you may not see love, but if you maintain the right principles of marriage, the love will return gradually. Praise God. That is not to say that you see a girl, she's beautiful, and then at first glance, you just love her. And then you just, that is not to say it is wrong. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I prefer this type. I prefer this one. But in a situation where you meet somebody you love, or maybe you just went for a program and you just saw somebody attracted you first glance, and then you met the person, it is not bad. But please, don't rush into relationship. That one, start from the friendship first. You meet somebody, can I be your friend? At that point, whether she's in a relationship is not your business. It's not your concern. Is there any harm in being friends? No, we are friends. Start from there. Let's be friends. She can't tell you no, but friends. It's being a friend is harmful. Let's be friends. I don't bite. Let's be friends. And then you are now friends. Don't rush anything. If after 2 weeks she's telling you this friendship, where is it heading to? She's not your wife. That person is not your wife. She's in a hurry. Maintain friendship. Let it flow. And in the course of friendship, you discover that it's working. You can now move it further. That level of friendship, if she's in a relationship, don't allow it distract you. I'm teaching the guys something here. Don't allow it distract you. You know what you have in mind, but you want to see from friendship if it works. But at that time, you just met the person. You don't know anything about the person. The person might be handsome, maybe probably even the presentation, spoke well. But those are not the things you need in relationship. So start from friendship, so that in the course of friendship, you get to know all those things that you need in relationship. And so now you do friendship with the person and you discover that fine, she has all of those things. But the reason why I said don't be afraid if she's in a relationship, in the course of your friendship, and she starts developing emotions for you, without you telling her, only her will look for one excuse and break that relationship. Because somehow she knows that she's feeling something for you already. So let it flow naturally. Whether it's this type or you met somehow, you called the attention. Be patient enough to start what? From friendship, and let it progress from there into marriage. It is safer that way. You will hardly have issues in marriage. Praise God. Please be seated. Hallelujah. So, I like to always emphasize that love is not the most important thing in marriage, but friendship. Love is not the most important thing, it is friendship. You can't be friends with somebody without loving the person, but you can love somebody without being the person's friend. You cannot be friends with somebody without loving the person. You cannot have a friend that you don't love. But you can love somebody without being the person's friend. Are you hearing me? So what you look at for is friendship first. Am I your friend? Even if I love you, but are we friends? Do we flow? Is there a connection? Those are the areas you should look out for. And if you discover that yes, there's a connection, you flow, you gel well, you hardly, no complication, no arguments, you will understand yourselves, you can move forward. Praise the Lord. Genesis chapter 2. Please, can you give me my tab? It's in that down. Can somebody read for us Genesis chapter 2 verse 24? Can somebody read quickly? Or media, if you can help us. Yeah.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
Thank you. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Now, I want to talk about the principle of living and cleaving. You see, before you talk about marriage, you should this principle, you should understand it 100%. Before you talk about marriage, you should understand the principle of living and cleaving. Because the problem that most marriages have is that they want to cleave when they have not left. But you must live first. See, there are two different things. There's the principle of living, there's the principle of cleaving. And God says, live and cleave. Do the two. But you cannot jump from primary school to university. You must do secondary. You cannot wake up and say, I'm of age, let me go to primary. You will do pre-nursery, crèche, pre-nursery, nursery. There are stages. So, the first stage is living. You must successfully go through the process of living. And I discovered that in this generation, most of our young people are having problem. So much problem with this living principle. Really, so many people are having issues with these living principles. You must know how to live before you think of cleaving. Abraham had that problem until God helped him to live. In this generation, many of us are having that issue. We have not left, but we want to marry. Now, and when I say leave, I don't mean pack your load and leave your father's house. You can still be there, but you have left. You can still be living there literally, but you have left. Just like Daddy now. He was still there. He was in the boys' quarters in their house. He had a room in the boys' quarters there. But he has left. Though he's in the compound, but he has left. When I say leave, what do I mean? Now, first of all, you need to understand that as a man. Now, this one now, I think the emphasis will be on men because you are the one that God said leave and cleave. Therefore shall a man leave and cleave. It doesn't mean that women don't leave, but your own is a bit milder. I will explain by God's grace. But this one is emphasis on a man. Before you think on cleaving to a woman, you should have left. Now, that leaving, what do I mean? I mean, you are living. Okay, now your first family, your parents, your siblings, that family is called your family of origin. Okay? That's your family of origin. But you must understand that at a time, your father at some point started his family and you are a member of the family. You too. A time will come where you need to start your own family. Yeah. You have to start your own family. And until you recognize that fact, stop bonding to your father. Father, if your father bonded too much to his father, he wouldn't have given birth to you. Even if he tried, managed to give birth to you, the family would have been a family of crisis. Somebody has not left. He has married. He's cleaving, trying to cleave, and he has not left. Issues upon issues upon issues. You will not have a smooth family. So it's one thing at a time. Your father left, started his own. Why? Because he realized that he has now become what? A man. The Bible did not say, therefore shall a boy live. He said, therefore shall a man live. So, there must be a point in time where you realize that I am now a man. And so you live in the area of dependence. You're no longer depending on your parents. You're no longer depending on your family. So you are leaving them in the area of what? Dependence. You are shifting that dependence from your family of origin to your family of destiny. So, your father, you're no longer that boy that your father can easily decide for. Your father can easily tell, why did you buy a car? You are not supposed to buy a car. as I'm looking at you now, go and sell that car and use the money for this. If your father is still telling you that, you have not left. You have not left. If your mother is still telling you what to do, there's something you want to do, your mother is saying, no, don't do this, you have not left. So it's not about the house. You may have been staying in that house, but you have left the day they realize that you are not a man to take decisions on your own. And they respect your decision. That's when you have left. I said that daddy left while he was still staying in that house. How? Because there was a time in the family. The truth is, to be sincere with you, sometimes for you to leave, most times for you to successfully leave, you have to fight it. Why are you laughing? You have to fight it. I will tell you, I told you that women, you too have to leave, but your own is mine. I will tell you how I fought my own. Daddy was still staying in that house. There was a time, there are some decisions he wanted to take at some point that the family was not to support, but he fought it. Like the church. Family wanted, but he fought it. And so it got to a point where they discovered, this one we tried to stop him, it didn't work. This one we tried, it didn't work. He's not a man. That's how it is. They will leave you. So the only thing they will do is that they will only be giving you advice. No longer order. Yeah. They will only be giving you advice. Okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, if you think, but I would have suggested that. Look into this area. Just think about it. Hey, you're not a man. You have left. When it's a situation where they are ordering you, no, don't do that. You cannot do that. You are my son. I gave birth to you. Hey? You have not left. You are still a boy. Because the truth is, the reason why you must fight it is because this is Africa. I don't know whether it's like that in the Western world. But the truth is, African parents, they keep seeing you as that 4 years old. They took to school to register in nursery school. No matter how old, how tall you are. Is it not you that carried 9 months? I breastfed. You. Which day did you grow? That's an African mother's voice. So you have to fight it. How did I fight my own? For a woman, your own is milder. It's not like you will break out totally, but then there's a stage you get to where your family should realize that you have grown. They should respect. And it will make a lot of things easier for you. Because most times the will of God, your family does not see it. It's you that is seeing it. The way they have been instructing you, they will still uninstruct you in the will of God. Family that I grew up with, of course, last born. It will be more difficult now. So after I graduated from school, they didn't like the church that I was attending. But I fought it. Why? Because I heard God. I heard God. My mother would preach, there's God everywhere. This one, now I know that you are called to do ministry. You can do ministry anywhere, but hey, see, there's God everywhere. But I'm not sent to everywhere. I have seen the place I've sent to. She has not seen it. She was the first person God told about my purpose, even before I was born. But she was the one that the devil used to fight it. When I identified the path to the purpose, she didn't see the path. She only saw the purpose. She didn't see the path. I saw the path. So I fought it. Today, she's grateful that I fought it. You see, when family comes to control you against the will of God, and you follow them, you will fail. And when you fail, they will put it on your head that you are the one that failed. They will never realize that they made you fail. They will never accept that they made you fail. So there's some point in your life you need to stand on your ground. When you succeed, they will clap for you. They'll say, yes, and I born you. You are the son of your father. They will forget that all the time they fought it. So whether you like it or you like it, a time will come where you need to stand on your ground and say, this is what, that is living. So another point is me like this. I told you that I had so many job offers, but because I knew my purpose very early, so I was very focused. Because I knew that these jobs will affect my work in church, I didn't take it. So me, that refused good work, better jobs. My eldest brother, they did everything to move me out of Asaba. Go to Abuja, go to Lagos, this one. But me, I knew, of course, there are churches there. But that's not where God sends me. It's attractive. In fact, there was one time they recommended one doctor in London for me to marry. I am a focused person. No matter how juicy it appears, you cannot confuse me. So, my brother now came and said, there's supermarket. Once it happened, I should come. I've already graduated, no job yet. Since you have not gotten job, this one, that one, I should come. Me, that turned down some jobs, I should leave Asaba to come to Abuja just to come and manage your supermarket temporarily according to them. I fought it. That's my brother that trained me in school. Is it that I've become rebellious? No. It is not my line of destiny. Today we are best friends, but I fought it. And that time he was vibrating. He was vibrating. How can he train me in school just to come? It's not as if it's permanent, temporarily until I get the job. It's for a while. So when they see that the first time they try to control you, it no work. Second one, it no work. They will realize that truly you have grown. And it was easy for me when I wanted to get married. I did not say, I am bringing a man for you to approve. No. It was text message. I sent to all of them, my mother, my elder, all of them. I am coming to show you. It's for you to see it. See the person. It's not for you to tell me whether you will marry him. I can't remember the exact words I used, but that was the text message that I constructed. If it was before, they will vibrate. It's only the one in the US that came the other time to do wedding here that people saw. That called me. You are not supposed to tell us that you want. You are supposed to tell us that you want to, for us to approve it. I just looked at him. Because the senior one never even talk. Now this one they talk. So that was the message I sent to my mom, because I've left. I have gone through the process of leaving. So I'm not waiting for you to tell me whether you will marry him. They've known him because we grew up together. They know him, but they didn't know we're still connected. So I just told them that I'm bringing the person that I want to marry to show them. That was the text message. The other one in Abuja already, that's the one me and him had the issue of. I said I'm not coming. So already that one has known that this person is strong-willed. That's even the first one that's supposed to say, you are not supposed to construct that message like that. You're supposed to tell us. But that one did not even talk. My mother too did not talk. Which day are you coming? I said, I'm coming. When I'm coming, I will let you know. So I went. Before I took that day, I went there. So she was just waiting for me to, but you could see that there was a level of respect and value. She was just waiting for me to be the one to say, he's so person is from this place. So she was trying to use time to ask me. I said, don't worry. It's somebody you know. So when I now mentioned it's somebody, is he a maker? I said, how you tell me? He said, no. Chapter closed. Nothing like, sit down. Are you sure? Nothing like that. Why? Because I have broken it. I have fought one before, I won. Fought another one, I won. So if you are doing, I don't want to offend. I don't want to offend. Anything they say you do. Anything they say you do, they will lead you out of the will of God for your life. Because most times family don't see it. You see it. I'm not saying be rebellious. But you must know the will of God for your life and be firm about it. Praise God. So, talking about living. Living is recognizing you are no longer dependent on your family of origin, but on your destined family. Living is not the withdrawal of relationship and responsibility. It is the transfer. Please take notes of this so that you understand. I am not saying when you are living, you should stop relating with your family. No. Living has nothing to do with relationship. As a matter of fact, you must maintain relationship. So it is not the withdrawal of relationship and responsibilities. Your relationship with your family must still stand. And your responsibility as a son in that family must still stand. For instance, you're the one that pays house rent for your mother or your father. That is your responsibility. Am I right? Yes. That's your responsibility. So it continues. Whether you are living, whether you are cleaving, whether you are marrying, the responsibility continues. Living has nothing to do with your relationship and your responsibilities. The only thing is, let me assume you are the one paying rent for your parents. And so now you are not married. And you know that sincerely, because of the responsibility of marriage, you cannot meet up anymore. So what you do is maybe instead of giving 100%, you reduce to 50% or 20% to support them. If they are wise parents and not selfish parents, they will understand that because you have a lot of things in your hands. Not all. Praise God. Amen. It can be handled also. Amen. Well, we'll get to time for questions. Maybe we'll handle those ones. So, What you do is, if you have siblings, better you can now call them and say, as it is now, I may not be able to be handling, so I need you to join me. Let me bring in 30%, or you be bringing this, so that we can be clearing this. But if you know that you can handle it along with your responsibilities in marriage, why not? Your responsibility and your relationship with your family still stands. So living has nothing to do with relationship and responsibility. Living, so what then is living all about? You say live, what are you now living? As in what? You are transferring loyalty and submission from the family of origin to the family of destiny. You are not transferring, relationship is intact, responsibility is intact, but your loyalty in terms of your full obedience, compliance to principles, submission to influence, you have transferred it from the family of origin to your new family. So now, if you want to do something, it is between you and your wife. It is not between you and your mother. It is not between you and your father. I want to buy a car. Your father does not have any business with that. Your mother does not have any business with that. All they can do is to advise you. I think you should buy a land first. And they must recognize that you and your wife have the final say despite their advice. So until you get to that point where family start telling you, I was thinking you should travel abroad, or discuss it with your wife. Until you get to that level where they start adding, discuss it with your wife, you know that yes, you have truly left. They now respect your decision and that of your wife. But if you are the one forcing, let me discuss it with my wife, and they are still having issues, how can I tell you something you want to discuss with your wife? You have not left. So you must take notice of these things. There was a time in our own marriage when, these things happen in most homes, most African homes. But you will correct it yourself, especially the man. The family of the women most times don't disturb, because they know that she's married, another person has paid bride price. She's not the man's responsibility. They cannot come and tell you what to do in your husband's house. So most times the problem don't even come from them. It's from the man's family. Do you get? Yes. Mother-in-law, man's mother will come and feel it's my son's house. It is you as a man that will put your mother in her place. Make her understand that, yes, you're my mother. You remain my mother and not a gatekeeper to my marriage. So all those plenty observation, and I saw that your wife woke up today by 7. Is she not supposed to wake? She came up to visit. She's not supposed to wake up by 6 or even 5 a.m. I said, Mama, you are not a gatekeeper to my marriage. It is Mama that you are. We have given you your room. We put AC there. We put TV. You don't believe that? Go give a transport fast. Go carry drop. Yeah, really. But you see, the responsibility lies with the men more to correct it. As a woman, it's not your place to correct it. Most mistakes that wives are making is that they try to correct it themselves. Before you know, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law issue starts. How can you tell me this is my son's house? This is my husband's house. Issue have started from. Please, as a wife, you don't have business with your mother. It's your husband that should do the work. Don't even talk to her. Just be smiling. When you enter the room, you see that thing. Go and correct it. He will correct it. He will correct it. There was a time in my marriage, earlier part of my marriage, that my mother-in-law would come and visit us. I miss that woman. I love her so much. She'll come and visit her, and she felt, this kind of, it's normal in my son's house. So she had the belief that she has the right to decide what to cook that day or that week. So before you know, she has entered the kitchen and she'll start arranging 1 or 2 things. Sometimes she'll even write lists. Give to the one, go to market, go and buy this. This is what we are cooking today. So I allowed it for a while. But the one that I decided to stop with was Christmas. After I prepared my mind what I will cook Christmas, it's not as if I want to cook one thing, she want to cook one thing. I said, no, I've allowed this and it's growing. And now when I said, Are we still keeping the principle of marriage? This part of it, are we still keeping it? He smiled. He knew where I was going. I said, oh yeah, correct it. Without smoke, hearing it, it was corrected. Not with arrogance, with dialogue. So you see your parents, you are the one that will teach them. Maybe in their generation, they did not know their boundaries. You are the one that will teach them. You see, in my house, you don't have business with my bedroom. That's why we kept your room very comfortable. Everything is there. You don't have business with my bedroom. It is called matrimonial room. You are not part of the matrimony. You are not part of the matrimony. That's your room, grandma's room. Everything is in order. If you need us, we are the ones, the children. We will come to you. If I thought maybe anything when you are coming, knock. If you're not yet coming, don't come in. Yeah. Please, I keep saying this. Your matrimonial room is like your Garden of Eden. Your place of communion and fellowship. Don't expose it to anybody, whether it's mother, whether it's sister, whether it's brother. Parlor, visitor's room, it's okay for them. And then you as a man, you are the one that will make your wife understand that the kitchen in that house is your wife's kitchen. So the thing was corrected easily without smoke. And after that day, what I was saying, okay, because unugewiki mebelim vegetable. Why not? If not, very easy, fast. Praise God. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. That's the order. And nobody should break it. If you break it, the serpent will bite. So please, men, you are the one that will help in this issue. Some women may not be patient enough. If you waste too much time to correct it, they might decide to correct it. And once they start, wife and mother start having issues, you are the one to suffer it. They say when two elephants are fighting, it's the grass. Because you won't have peace. Your mother, you love her so much. Somebody that gave birth to you 9 months, and this is the bone of your bone. You are in between. You go settle case tire. Praise God. So please, don't even allow it grow. Amen. God will help us. In the name of Jesus Christ. Right, so living can bring difficult feelings to your family of origin. Yes, it is true. But notwithstanding, you must redefine their place intentionally. It is true. When you want to leave, remember when we are talking about living, not necessarily physically living there. Some people have left physically, but they have not left. Any small thing, they are calling the mother. I want to travel to Lagos. Okay, when are you going? Okay, don't go Tuesday, go Wednesday. You have not left. You bought a car. You say, that car is too expensive. Or sell it and buy this one. You obey. You have not left. Though you have your own house, but you have not left. Praise God. And really, it helped us in marriage. We defined all of these things. My mother-in-law, whenever he's talking to my husband, you say, Achomki discuss and Gina Muni discuss. Do you understand? Discuss. So that is, it has come to the level where she recognized that these two are one. And though I want them to do this thing, it is a suggestion that we have to discuss it and agree. But by the time the woman is still feeling that you are my son, I have told you, you have to agree because I said it, without recognizing the place of the woman in the picture. Oga, you have not left. They must recognize that there is a woman with whom you are tied. And so everything about you affects her. It is destiny together. So when she's suggesting, I want you to relocate, I want you to buy this car, I want you to buy land, I want you to, she should also add, discuss it with your wife. If they are not recognizing that fact, you indirectly teach them to recognize him. As you are listening to the advice, by the time they finish talking, okay, Mama, I will discuss it with my wife. So the first day here, I will discuss it with my wife, even if it did not sound nice in her ear, but she has heard it. And then another day again, you say, I will discuss it with my wife. By the time they hear, I will discuss. The fifth one, they are the ones that will add it for you. Discuss it with you. Hallelujah. So it shows that they are learning. Am I right? Praise God. All right, so let's fly. Parents must recognize that a time will come when children must forge ahead with their lives and their new family. A healthy living process requires changes in both the parents and the son leaving the family. Praise God. Matthew chapter 19 verse 6, the Bible says, so they are no longer two but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So the picture of marriage is just carry a picture of super glue gumming two things. If you use super glue and gum two things, they are inseparable. Am I right? That is marriage. Two have become one. Amen. Factors to handle before leaving. So before you think of, okay, let me establish this first. Please, it's very important you know this. You see, the living process is a continuous process. It is gradually. You don't do it spontaneous. Please, this is very important. So please, all the men here, young men are not married. Don't go and say, she said we should leave, and so I am leaving. From today, my father will not tell me what to do. No, it's not like that. It's a gradual process. If you want to do it spontaneously, you will have issues. There will be crises. It's a continuous thing. So please, that is why, okay, I don't know if I told you, it is better to start it before you even find the girl. It is better to start it before you find the girl. Now you have not found the girl, but you know that you have grown to a level. Start taking responsibility in the house. They should not be feeding you, clothing you, everything you, house rent, you are there, nothing, you're not contributing. No matter how small, even if it's pure water you are buying in that house, let it be that you are doing something. So long as you are contributing, you gain a level of respect in that home. Don't wait for them to tell you, hey, you have grown. So every month you have to be bringing allowance of 5,000. You have to be bringing allowance of 2,000. No. On your own. No matter how small, just fight to make sure. Either you are buying something in the house, or at the end of the month you give your father something. No matter how small, just make sure you are doing it. It gives you a level of respect before the parents. So it starts from there. So the living process has just started. That's why I say it's a gradual process. It's safer you do it before you start it. Grow in it before you meet the girl. If it's after you have met the girl, you're not trying to leave, the girl too will suffer it, because they will accuse her of so many things. Before you met her, once I speak to you, you listen. Since after you met her, I cannot talk to you again. You have grown. Now because you have a girl in your life. So that girl wants to separate. Excuse me. You have just put an innocent girl in trouble. Innocent girl. So leave first before you meet the girl. At least, before you have not even met a girl you want to marry, you have not even pictured, but you know that you have grown to a level, you start doing some small things for them to gain respect and recognize that you have the right to take decisions on your own. Maybe by the time you meet the girl, you have gotten to 90% of the living process. You don't have issues. That girl does not have issues. They will never accuse her of anything. Because already they have seen that you have grown before she came into the picture. Already they have seen that they can't control you anymore. You are not a man on your own. You see, at that point, you have already started the family of destiny. You have started it, just that you are waiting for the woman to join you in the family, but you have started it. So the family does not necessarily start with the woman first. It begins with you first. Recognizing you are not a man. Living first, the living process. And then you have finished the living process, you have completed the living process. By the time you now meet the girl, it's easier for you to cleave. Because you have settled that living process long before she came. Don't wait to meet her before you leave. Because it is a gradual process. It is continuous. So you need time. It's a gradual thing. If you try to do it once, it will cause problem. Praise the Lord. So, factors to handle before leaving. The factors to handle. Before you start realizing that you have become a man, no matter how old you are, it's not your age that makes you a man. Before you start realizing in that family I have become a man, I should start taking responsibility. My mother should not be controlling. Before you get to that stage, you should handle these factors first. Number one, unresolved issues or conflicts from the family of origin must be handled. There are some families that have some norms, laws, values that before you leave this house as a man, before you marry, you should have done this thing. You should have achieved this. You should have. So if you are from a family that has some of those laws, please settle it first before you start realizing you are a man. Amen. So those unresolved issues, handle it first. Then number 2, excessively looking for approval, encouragement, and support from parents instead of your spouse to be, whether you are met or not. So you must handle these ones. Don't always seek for approval from your mother. Always seek for approval from you. There's an age you will get to. Intentionally, deliberately, not mistake. Just because you want to gradually start living. You are in a fix. You don't know what to do. Instead of you to meet your father and mother, look for a friend. Yeah. Look for a friend. Look for an advanced person, a mentor, spiritual father, whoever, to seek counsel from. Intentionally. Why? Let them not be too used to you coming for counsel, directive, advice. You are at a fix, but you want to deliberately reduce your going to them for approval. Meet somebody who is matured in that area and ask the questions. Praise God. Yes. So now you want to buy a car and you don't have a land. At least you will see somebody that will tell you that it is better to get land first than car. Try and get a land. If possible, resell the land. Buy another one, resell. It's a good advice. And then you do it, it works. And then your family is seeing results. They will be respecting you more for it. You have a land. You even bought another one. You have to. But you came the first day, you asked, should I buy car? Or should I not? They will still be seeing you as one small boy. No, don't buy car, buy land. You now went because father said, you now bought. It is father's instruction. So tomorrow you want to do, and that if you do it, you did not come, there will be issue. So you must deliberately reduce seeking for approval. Amen. Intrusive parents, when you have a mother or a father that's always intruding in your affairs, even things that are not her business or his business, you need to work on it before you think of leaving. Set boundaries. Set boundaries. Intentionally set boundaries. There are some things that they should respect you for. This is your privacy. This is your, okay, I'm your mother, yes, but this is my boundary. Praise God. You must be intentional about building those things. Endeavor to keep. Now, in case you're married and you're still having issues with living, there's so many married people that are still having issues with living. And that's why they have not been able to live well. So many cases, you may not know, but there are so many cases. So many. And when they judge, when they tell you the thing, you just realize this is a problem of living. The person don't live well. Or he has not even left at all. He's trying to live after he don't marry. Praise God. So now you're married, but you are still having this issue. Maybe you have not left you, and so you have realized, so you are not trying to live. Endeavor to keep marriage issues between you and your spouse. Don't, like I said, your mother, your father, they are not gatekeepers to your marriage. So don't every single issue you're calling them. No. Anything that concerns your marriage, keep it between you and your spouse. My mother can never call me and is asking. My own is so bad, even spiritual father, when ministry we served, my father and the Lord every time will be calling me. Are you okay? How is Franklin treating you? I went, never open my mouth and tell you anything. Me like this. He's doing well, it's good, everything is fine, we are fine. Every time, I don't know why, he kept always asking me, you are not smiling today. Did Franklin do anything? I will never tell you. Whether there's anything, it's not your business. My own is so bad. Normally, you're supposed to be able to talk to your spiritual parents. Because you can't talk to biological fathers. In order to avoid this third party, they will be sentimental. But spiritual fathers will be at the center and handle this way. But in the first place, no evil issue, self. But he was always, to a point, like somebody that said, Mitchelle, no, they talk to me. Let me send my wife. The wife now came and started asking me. They just always want to know. And me, I will never. Everything is working. And it is working. So, your marriage, you must build a wall of protection. Not any little issues you call father. Any little issues you call mother. You call sister. You call sister where you never even fit build a whole marriage where first. Now they call. No. Praise God. These things are very, very important. Amen. Learn to say no to excessive demands outside the marriage relationship. Develop your own social cycle and calendar of events. Maybe your family is used to there's one person in this church, she's not here. Every year, Christmas, everybody must come to the house for Christmas. There are some families that have such laws. We have seen even in this church, there are some people, Christmas now you see them, they come and say, I want to travel. And then when you know that, hey, this church is compulsory, every church worker must be around for crossover. They'll say, my family, everybody must come for Christmas and everybody must cross over into the new year together in my family. Praise God. See, maybe your family have all those laws and all those principles. If you know you want to live well and have peace in marriage, when you realize you are not a man, give yourself your own calendar. Their calendar is that every Christmas, everybody must come to the family house. Your own calendar is that every Christmas, you travel for vacation with your family. Give yourself your own calendar. So when they are saying come home, you say, we are going to Dubai. You don't have money for Dubai, we are going to Owerri. There's one new hotel that came out. That's where we are spending our Christmas. So there's some families that usually have certain time of the month. Maybe they will do fasting. Certain time of the month. That is your father's family. This is your own family. What is your own calendar? What's your own calendar? You must not follow how your father did it because you were trained like that. Now you have your own family. Bring up your own calendar. Your own way of doing things. Plan your year. Amen. Seek ways to grow spiritually together. Develop and establish laws for your new family. Praise God. Appreciate appropriate living. Facilitates appropriate cleaving. Now I'm going to talk about cleaving. The truth is, cleaving, there's nothing here to even say. There's nothing to say about cleaving because if you successfully live, naturally you will cleave without stress. But it's normal. If I remove this paper from here, automatically the paper will land somewhere else. Has it not landed in my hand? So normally when you live somewhere, you must enter another place naturally. So once you leave, naturally you will cleave because you have to enter somewhere. So there's nothing much to even say. So living is like the everything. If you're able to live, you will naturally cleave. What that living does for you is that you will cleave with peace. With peace. Praise the Lord. So, appropriate living facilitates appropriate cleaving. There's this thing I want to correct. The mentality, Africa has that mentality so much. You are not marrying the man, you are marrying the family. It's a lie. It's me that said it. It's a lie. Go and call police. It's a lie. You are not marrying family. Show me in the Bible. Where the Bible says you are marrying family. Bible says, therefore shall a man live and cleave. It did not say a man will go and bring one girl to marry the family. Therefore shall a man, it's even the man that will even leave the family. Therefore shall a man live and cleave to his wife. You're not marrying family, you are marrying the man, not the family. If you're marrying the family, that means his father can sleep with you. His brother can sleep with you. So long as they cannot sleep with you, you're not married to the family, you're married to the man. The only thing is that by marrying the man, you have become a member of the family. By marrying the man, by marriage, you have become a member of the family. The man becomes your father, the woman becomes your father. The same way you treat your father is the way you will treat your husband's father. The same way you treat your own biological mother is the same way you treat your mother-in-law, because they are now your parents by marriage. But you're not married to them. If you're married to them, it means the man can jump up at any time and give you instruction. You will obey without even consulting your husband because you are married to the family. The brother too will wake up one morning from the left side of his bed and just call you, come and cook soup. You will go. You are married to family. So please, correct that. You're not married to family. You're married to the man. Through the man, you have become a member of the family. So you will show them love. You will show them care as your parents. The same way you show love and care. So long as you're married, your mother tells you anything, will you not seek permission from your husband? Your father tell you, will you not seek permission from your husband? The same thing with his own father. His father tell you anything, you will seek permission from him. So it is true the man, you become a member of the family. Without the man, you don't have business with that family. So you're not married to the family, you're married to the man. So please, people should stop saying that thing. You are married to family. You're not married to family. I don't like hearing it. Praise God. That's why I was in a conference. It didn't pain me that I could not talk. Because they answered it in the wrong direction. Who was with me? You were there. And Jennifer. They answered this in the wrong direction. Somebody was asking a question that if you want to marry you want to marry a guy and his family is not in support, they don't like you, what will you do? We were about how many of us seated to take the questions. I answered the last question before that one. So they directed to another person. And I was shocked. The person just gave me one answer that did not go down well. He said, please, if the family is not like you, don't marry. I said, for where? How? He said, because you are marrying the family, Oh, this thing was just biting me. To make it worse, the next person sitting beside her now collected my car. I thought she wanted to counter. She not even supported. He said, it's true. There's somebody I know that got married. The family did not support. Before you know it, the thing was just spinning because time has gone. So they were rushing. That was the last question. I wanted to handle it. And Takuli, excuse me, you're not married family. But there was no time. So I just sacrificed. I said, no problem. There will be another opportunity. But thank God, the guest minister in that conference had already come in. So she observed the talk show. In fact, that was the only question she had. As if God really wanted. So the moment she took the microphone, I don't know, you people know her, Mama Chioma, she's very popular. The moment she took the microphone, that was the first thing she addressed. She said, before I preach, I want to address that last question in the talk show. When she said that, I was happy. I said, thank God. I crossed my leg very well. He said, please, you want to marry a man, the family does not like you, don't back out. Hi! So if you see the audacity with which she said it, I say, yes, this is what I like. The thing entered well. He said, don't back out. And truly, you don't back out. I just told you some minutes ago that most times family don't see the will of God for sure. They might even be the first people God told. But when the time comes, they will not recognize that the time has come. You are the one that will know. The part of that destiny that God told them, you are the one that will see it. They won't see it. They will fight it. Time will not permit me to go into how to handle in-laws. Maybe they don't like all those things, but there are ways. It's very easy. You now say you are running. The one you want to enter, do you know how it will be? There are some families they may even pretend. But when you come in, the woman will not show you that. So please, you don't back out. You're not marrying the family, you're marrying the man. Praise God. Yeah, to cleave means to cling to. It means to be attached to stick to. And I said, have the picture of super glue. When you glue something, it stays together, inseparable. Amen. Cleaving creates a deep connection that does not allow even children or friends to come in between. Praise the Lord. Now, this is very important. By the time you are not married, now thank God you are successfully left. You have another, the fight has not finished. You have another one. Your own children. Your own children should not come in between you and your spouse. You must cleave to a point that even your children cannot separate you. I have seen some families that children cause issues in the marriage. The father is in support, the woman is not in support. The child wants to enter a particular school. And or maybe the father has one attachment for the first daughter most times. He loves that first daughter. And so because he loves the first daughter, the woman wants the first daughter to do something. The girl will now go and take cover under the father. The father will not truly support. Are you okay? Where was the girl when you people were doing living and cleaving, when the marriage started? Where was she? They were not there. So, children must not come in between you and your spouse. They should know their place as children. They should know their place. Even in your house, they must respect your room. You should not enter your room anyhow. That's a matrimonial room. They are not part of the matrimony. The matrimony gave birth to family. They are part of the family, but they are not part of the matrimony. There's many years back in school, there was one of my roommates in the hostel. Of course, I never met the parents, but she was always telling us about them. I love those kind of parents. He said their father does not take nonsense from them or anything that has to do with their mother. That the man will back as a lion. Maybe the mother said you message you are wasting time, or told you to do something you did not do. Hey, he said when their father hears, if it's him, he will not react some, but the wife, and he will not say, did I hear that your mother? He does not use mother, my wife. My wife asked you to. He's talking to his own child though. He's the one that gave birth to the child. The woman too gave birth to the. He does not tell them your mother. Oh. My wife. Do you realize that is my wife? My wife asked you to sit down. You are standing. You see, that's how the man used to talk. Oh. Every time we shouting my wife in their ears. I love that kind of man, really, because it will make the children understand that this, though they are our parents, but they are husband and wife. And we must respect the fact that they are husband and wife. So even your children must not come in between. Praise the Lord. Allow your parents to be parents and not gatekeepers to your marriage. You can only seek advice, but parents must realize that despite their advice, the decision is between you and your spouse. I'll try to round off. Okay? I've handled this, talking about tension. When you want to leave, talking about living and cleaving, when you want to leave, definitely to create tension. Just like I said, that there's always difficult feelings from the part of the family of origin. They always feel bad. You know, that normal sentimental attachment, that my son that I can easily talk to, you will listen, things are not changing, it's natural. So it will definitely create tension. That is why I told you earlier, I said, don't rush it. Don't do it once. Don't do it, it's not spontaneous, it's a gradual process, it's continuous. Living is continuous. Allow it take a while. Naturally, it will come to a point where they now know that, you are not a man. They don't control you anyhow, and there's a woman in your life. Praise the Lord. So, when this tension are created, what you do is to manage it with wisdom. You use wisdom to manage it. It takes a while. But you must understand that it is just tension. It is not problem. If you handle it as problem, it becomes a problem to you. But if you understand that it is just tension because something new is coming and it is normal, and then you apply wisdom and you give it time, it will be easier for you to handle. Praise God. So factors to consider before getting married. Okay. This to everyone, both male and female. Factors to consider before getting married. You see that thing that they always say. If you meet somebody now, like I meet Praise now, I say, tell me the qualities you want in a girl. What's the first thing he will say?
Neatness.
You see that thing is chorus. You not say it. I ask Joy now, what's the qualities you want in a man? This one that is prayer warrior. The first thing you will hear is God fearing. You see, let me tell you, don't have it that say you will not say it. Eh? Please say it. Don't have it that say you will not say praise. Please say it. You see that thing, eh? It is like chorus, but it is beyond chorus. You see that thing is a regular statement, but I want you to take it beyond regular statements to meaning it to the bottom of your heart. Don't joke with it. Oh. There are other factors, but you see that one is the grandfather, is the number one. Even in your dream, they ask you who you will. Qualities. Echo is loud and clear. God fearing. Whether they are singing it as song, it has become norm that we are not looking at it it's too normal. No, I will not be saying it again. Please be saying it. I will tell you why. It is the number one. No. Do you know why? The reason is this. It takes somebody who... Marriage, first of all, the whole idea of marriage, how did it start? It started with God. He's the one that initiated the idea of God, of marriage. Am I right? Yes. And there are principles for marriage. There are principles for marriage. It takes a man that has truly The fear of God to keep to the principles of marriage. Not because of you, not because of the love, but because of the fear that he has for the one who initiated the marriage. Because of the value and the respect that he has for the one whose idea it is. So when you look out for marriage, oh God, when you look out for a partner, I am not joking with this thing. See, look for that man that in his office, he has the opportunity to falsify figure. But he won't do it because he fears God. Those are the things to look out for in that relationship. He will not know. But in your daily activities that you come around to hangouts, listen to his discussions. Did he tell you that I just outsmarted the guy? The moment I outsmarted the guy, pick it. Pick it. It is wrong. And it's a sign that he does not fear God. He might expect you to laugh. You are a bado. You do this thing. You smart. You do that. Please. The way he did bado, and so he go bado you inside house. By the time he eventually marry you, because it shows that his heart is seared. He doesn't care what God feels about that. So he will not also care what God feels about slapping you. A marriage. That man that has opportunity to sleep with you, nobody will know. But he says, look at Joseph. He said, I will not do it. Joseph would have done that thing and Potiphar will not know. But he says, at that point, it's not because of anybody, because nobody will know, but because of God. So even in the private, that person is still conscious of what God feels, what God thinks. I fear God. I won't do this thing. See, when you are in a relationship, don't tell them. They will not know. But those are the things you are looking out for. Their character, their attitude, the things that they easily do without any, their conscience even pricking them. And if you meet the guy that says, I would have done it, but I can't do it because of my faith, because of my belief as a Christian. I cannot bring down my standard. I fear God. If you see that kind of guy, hold him very well. That type, in your marriage, the day that he will be tempted to slap you, he will remember the principles of God. And because of the fear he has for God, he won't slap you. It is not because of your face. You are fine, but he sees the face every day. A time will come when that face will no longer be looking fine to him. A time will come when he has seen the best of you. Yeah. A time will come when the love that was shaking him, buying you ice cream every day, sending you text messages, sending you airtime, the love is no longer there. But he's still treating you nicely. Why? Because God said so. He's obeying the principles of marriage. Why? Because God says so. What are the principles of marriage for the man? Honor your wife. Care for your wife. Treat her like a weaker vessel. Provide for your wife. So at the point where you don't even deserve it anymore, because there's nothing special about you anymore, the fear of God still makes him obey the principles. He wants to cheat, you will not know, but the fear of God will make him not to do it. See, if it's because of your fine face, people whose husbands cheat, most times they're even finer than, the women are finer than the side chicks. There's a man in that your school that the man is known for that thing. There was a day I was supposed to go. No, it's not even that one. There was a day I was supposed to go to his office to give him something to sign. So the woman, the last person that signed it for me, knew that I was supposed to go to that man's office. I didn't know that the man he has that weakness and his own is very bad. So the man now said, you're supposed to go and meet this man for him to sign. The next question the woman asked me was, are you married? There's no connection between that form and are you married? So the moment the woman asked me that question, I just knew that the next person I'm going to meet is a womanizer. It's somebody that anything on skirts. I didn't need any prophet to tell me. The woman, she just wanted to know if I'm safe. Okay, you're married. Okay, so maybe your own is better. It might not bother you. The woman just asked, are you married? The moment that question came, I knew. I said, the next person I'm going to meet. So I was ready. And truly, when I went there, the man, see form sign now. You he was not trying to ask me some questions that does not connect to the form. And as he was trying to ask, I was looking at the eyes. How the eyes was going from up to down and from down to up. And Amen. Really, the man. So I was not surprised because that woman's question has already prepared my mind that that's the kind of person. So I was not surprised. So he saw that I was not really. So from there, he now entered. So I not deliberately made him to see the ring. So when he saw the ring, and I knew when he saw it, I knew when his eyes went there. So he now said, "Are you married?" I said, "Yes." "Where is your husband?" That was the next question. Nothing concern you concern my husband. Sign form, man. Where's your husband? Maybe he wanted to know if he's not in Asaba. I'm in Asaba. Oh, abroad. So that, you know, they will not say, okay, I can be keeping you company. Hey, hallelujah. Hey. You know, the way the husband says in Asaba, what does he do? I'm telling you the truth. The man now started asking me, the moment he saw the ring, he's now diverted attention to the man. What does he do? I was happy when he asked that one. What does he? I say, pastor. I don't waste time. He's a pastor. The moment he heard pastor, he said, give me the phone. You gotta carry the phone and feed it peacefully. And I heard, we were discussing that man. Was it not on Thursday? Yes. We're discussing this same thing about him. A lot of persons have experienced it. So we're discussing him. And somebody said that, and the man always says that he loves his wife. Although he knows that he cheats on her, but he loves her, he does not joke with her. What am I trying to teach you? The love can still be there, but they will still be doing wrong things. They will still cheat. So what will keep them from doing those things is the fear of God. So that's why you should not joke with that thing. So when they say qualities you want in a man, that should be your number one. And mean it. I've taught you how to look out for the fear of God. He's not going to church. Everybody goes to church. That man now, I'm sure maybe he sits in front in the church. He might even be a church worker. But his personal life, in your time, that's why it's good to do relationship in a while. Take time to know yourselves. Do courtship, friendship. I've taught you from friendship to relationship, relationships to courtship, and then marriage. All those time, observe his actions, his behavior, his character. Is he somebody that has the fear of God in the things he does? So number 2, time will not permit me to read the scripture, but just write down Psalm 112 verse 1. Talks about a man that fears God and how his family will be blessed. He will have a blessed family, a smooth family, and all that. You know, so purpose. Number 2 is purpose. This one too is another very important one, but I don't have time. But just make sure that you look out for somebody whose purpose aligns with your own. It's better that way. You see, let me just quickly drop this one and move on. Purpose is your entirety, the entirety of why you are alive. It's the reason why you were created. That is the reason why you were created. So the moment you discover purpose, and then you are looking out for a man, the qualities in a man, after fear of God, the next thing is purpose. So you see, it is not the regular, I'm giving you qualities you look out for in a partner. Sorry, it's like I'm talking to women more. I'm used to talking to women. But from talking to women, you'll be fishing out your own lessons. Right? So now, purpose is the reason why you were created. So it's the summary of why you are on earth. So everything about you should be in line. I told you that I knew my purpose earlier and it helped me. That's why I made sure that even job did not distract me for it. And today, you see, there's some sacrifices you make. It's waiting for you in front. God will pay you without knowing it. All those jobs that I turned down, I did not take. Who knows? That's what God is paying me today. That I am here. I'm not working somewhere. And they pay me salary every month. I turned down some jobs because I know that this thing is not in line with my purpose. Today, I receive salary in a place where I don't work. God does not forget. He does not owe anybody. He will make sure. Any sacrifice you make, if he doesn't reward you now, later. These are sacrifices I made years ago when I was in choir. Not even a pastor. Because I needed time for rehearsal. Time for service. Even my bishop wanted to give me a job to work as a PA to commissioner. I did not take it. I just asked him one question. Hope I'll still be having time for choir rehearsal services. He himself did not think of that one first when he was talking about that job. Man, I told him, he paused. And I said, I will get back to you. Till today, he didn't get back to me. The matter died in natural death. See, I am too focused to be distracted. In this my life, like I came to. This life, no. So please, before you talk about marriage, you should know your purpose. So don't make mistake of getting into a relationship, marriage with somebody whose purpose, the person is going to north, you are going to east. It should be in line with your purpose. So that when you join forces together, you will achieve much. Purpose can be anything, it must not be ministry. It can be as simple as it can be entertainment. Entertainment can be a calling, do you know? Yeah. Bitterness kills. You don't know? Bitterness kills. But by the time you entertain people and they are happy, you have relieved them or something. At least maybe that week, the person will not have any reason to go to hospital. It can be anything. Whatever you know that you have identified. This is what God has blessed you with which you are supposed to bless the world. Look for somebody who has that purpose that is connected to it. It will minimize distractions on your path of destiny. Because the person you are loyal to, the person you are connected to is going the same direction with you. So you could join forces together. 2 heads, they say, are better than one. One shall chase 1,000. 2 shall chase what? 10,000. 2 shall chase what? 10,000. So please, I'm not giving you the regular what to look out for in a guy. Handsome, tall, educated, spoken, who humble. Name it. All those ones that you are usually saying. They are good. Neatness, all those places. Is it that they are not good? Romantic. Is it that they are not good? They are good. You can have it, no problem. Keep it in your mind. Those ones to me are the secondary and tertiary qualities you should look out for. The primary ones are what I'm giving the most importance. If you have these ones in a man, and the man does not have all those plenty other things, you are good to go. You are good to go. See, marry that person. You will not have issues in marriage. If you have issues, come and hold me. You will not. Because those things are not the most important. The most important is what I'm giving to you now. All those ones are things that can easily come in self. You can handle it yourself. You can bring it in. But these ones are things that he should already have. God-fearing, purpose, it should align with your own. Praise God. So don't expect your regular somebody that is tall, somebody that is handsome, somebody that is here, somebody that is that. Number 3, this one is also important, love. Do you love him? Love. I put love number 3 because most times we feel love is the most important thing in marriage. Love is not. I've already taught you that. Okay, this man I cited example. He loves his wife so much. He doesn't joke with it. He sings it as a song, tells people, and yet he's cheating on her. So love is not the most important thing in marriage. Most important thing, that God fearing that you put in his chorus. Now everybody's echoing it. That thing is as important as your life. It's as important as your destiny and your marriage. Number 2 is this purpose. Your choice of a partner should be based on your God-given purpose. Amen. Number 3, love. Do you love him? Yes, he's God-fearing. Purpose aligned, but do you love him? The love is also important. Even if it's not the most important, it's also important. Check it. Do you love him? If you love him and he's God-fearing, his purpose aligns with your own heart, it's 100% accurate. Leave the tallness first. Romantic. Leave all those ones first. He can learn it. Amen. And then number 4, factors to consider. How ready are you for the responsibilities of marriage? I told you marriage is responsibility. Emotional responsibility, physical, financial, spiritual, psychology. So many responsibilities tied to marriage. How ready are you for it? Don't jump into marriage because you just want to wear the wedding gown. You want to marry, that's the level your age has reached, No. Are you ready for the responsibility? If not, as you rush in, you will rush out. By the time the responsibility come at you, you will want to run. Amen. Please, if you're not married, one advantage of not being married, I told you that marriage is not compulsory. Don't let anybody make you feel bad. In case you're not married, one advantage you have over those who are married is that at least you have not made mistake. Yeah. There are so many people in marriage that are praying, oh God, please turn the hands of time. If I had known. So now you have time on your side. Thank God we have wisdom now. We are learning a lot of things. So you have the opportunity to, apply some of these things. Some of us are already married. You don't have the opportunity to apply anymore. You are married is that you are married. What you do now is now you start applying curative measures just in case you made a mistake. Praise God. So, how to attract the right partner. I'm rounding off. After this, I'll tell you how to make him propose. You are in the relationship already, he has not proposed. How to make him propose? Do you want to hear that one? I should round up. Hey, Jesus Christ. Most times, it's not what you people are even thinking that works. It's what your head is not even telling you that is the thing that works. They are here, they will tell you. When I start teaching you how to make him propose, They are here. They will confirm it for you. Truly, what they look out for is what you people don't know they look out for. Sorry, I'm measuring on women. I'm used to talking to women. Don't be angry. But I believe I've spoken to the guys here. So praise God. So I believe I've spoken to the men. So it's balanced. So how to make him propose? I'm going to talk about that. But before then, how to attract. Observe the progression. We talked about factors to consider. And then now, how to attract. You have considered it maybe in the level of friendship. You know him, or maybe you're not even friends. You're in the same office. You have considered all those factors. And you discover that he has his purpose is there. God fear is there. So how to attract him first? Let him come and even start relationship first. So how to attract Mr. Right is to be Mrs. Right. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. How to attract the right man is to be the right woman. Because God is not selfish. You are praying, oh God, give me the right man. The right man is somewhere praying, oh God, give me the right woman. So God will not bring the right man to you when you are not the right woman. If he does that, he only answered your prayer. He didn't answer the man's prayer. So it will only balance well when you have worked on yourself to be the right woman. And so as you are praying, God, give me the right man. The man is praying, God, give me the right one. And God looks at his prayer. Okay, he wants right woman. Okay, there's another right woman here that is praying for right man. A match. Easy. He'll bring you together. But when he's praying, oh God, give me the right man, give me the right man. And God is looking at you, you'll never marry you. But you are not the right woman. He won't bring, no matter what you pray. Because he too is praying right woman. So, be the right woman. Apart from God answering the prayers of both of you at the same time. They say likes attracts. You want somebody that is educated, be educated. You want somebody that is exposed, be exposed. You want somebody that has good disposition and everything. Have it first. Somebody that is romantic, you too, be romantic. So everything you want in a man, work on yourself first to have it. When you have it, you will easily identify the man that has it, and he too will easily identify you. They say likes attracts. So, how to attract the right man is to be the right man. Don't think that God loves you so much that you now want to wicked another young man that is just on his own. Carry him and give you when you have not worked on yourself. So, work on yourself. So, talking about being the right woman, time will not permit me. Just go and read Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman. A virtuous woman who can find. Who can find means she has not been found yet. So, it is not until you marry before you start working on yourself to be the virtuous woman. It is before you are found that you work on yourself to be the virtuous woman. So, all those qualities there. One, put it together. I try to put it together into, but time will not permit me. Love yourself. Don't be desperate. Guys don't like anybody that is desperate. Don't be desperate. Have a life on your own. Have a life. Enjoy your single stage. Don't be as if I want to marry by fire by force. No. Get a job, business. Get busy with yourself. Live your life and enjoy. When they see life in you, the life that is in you will attract them. But when they look at you, there's no life. You're just there waiting for a husband. Nothing is really happening around you. They will not want to come around you because they don't want anybody that will dim their lights. So you should have light first. Sparking. Let that light attract them. Everything about you should be lively. Have a life. Have a life. Don't write it on your face. I'm not married. No. And then those factors we wrote, factors to consider, fear of God and all of those things. Have all those things. Amen. When you have all those things, you are likely, most likely, you have everything it takes to attract the right man. Be the right woman. Proverbs 31. Go and read it, verse 10. So how to make the man propose? After this, I may have to round off. Time has gone. I wanted to talk about staying married, but no time. So how to make the man propose? Most times we think that we think the wrong things as the things that will make them propose. Like in this generation, somebody proposed to you or asks you out. Before you say Jack, you have slept with him. And you think if I don't give him sex now, he will leave. Excuse me. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. But most times you don't know. If you want a man to stay long and marry you, don't give him sex. My name is Mitchelle. I am the one that said it. They are here, they're hearing me. That's the part they will not tell you. That's the part they will not tell you. But deep down in their mind, they're looking for a woman that has integrity. Deep down, somewhere in their minds, they will not present it to you because they themselves too, they want to. But deep down, they are looking out for the girl that has integrity. I have seen a guy that is a regular playboy, meets a girl who wants to sleep with her, They'll make advances at you for sex. But deep down in their mind, they are looking out for the girl that will say no. What is good is worth waiting for. They will not tell you that part. But I'm telling you. I've seen a guy that is like a playboy, sleeps around with girls. He's in a relationship, sleeping. In fact, that's his life. But do you know that the truth is that most girls feel that that's what keeps them? It's not. The day that the guy is a big time playboy. He's into hit and run. But the day he met the girl that said, of course, it will start from a relationship. And the girl said, fine, I agree, I'll do a relationship with you, but let's set principles that will guide us in this relationship. And number one principle is that this relationship will be a non-sex relationship. First of all, I told you the reason for relationship is not to have sex. Sex is for marriage, not relationship. There are 1,001 things to do in relationship to keep it going. Time will not permit me to talk about all that, but it is not sex. Do you know, contrary to general belief that I go quickly leave this particular one, I'll lie you. That is the one that he ended up marrying. Non-sex relationship, let's do a non-sex relationship and just get to know ourselves, be friends and run a relationship like that and wait until marriage. You see, when you project integrity and values to a guy, he takes you beyond girlfriend to a wife material. He takes you beyond girlfriend to somebody that can be a mother to his children. Because they are also conscious of the qualities you have. Because what you have is what you will teach their children. They are playing with you, having the sex and everything, but deep down in their mind, integrity, they are looking for it. They are looking for a girl that will tell them, I'm a principled person. I'm a person of principle, and these are my principles. They will respect you. They will know that they are safe with you. Their children are safe with you. You can teach their children values. Praise God. And then they said, what is good is worth waiting for. It is worth waiting for. A man that loves you will not want to tamper with your virtue. It is worth waiting for. Keep it. You give him sex, there's no other thing. Again, he has seen the best of you. So why will he be in a hurry? What will make him, put him in a tight corner that he doesn't want another person to take you from him? Because he has seen a treasure. Somebody that is worth taking home. Somebody that he knows that his future is safe with. Somebody that will care for his children, that will teach the children right principles. That type, he will be in a hurry to marry you before another person will take you. Even if you are not giving him the sex. He has seen that you are a principled person. He will be in a hurry. Number 2, how to make him propose very fast. Be resourceful. Be resourceful. It's not about romantic. It's not about dressing well. It's not about all those things fine are good, but you see these things deep down in their minds, they are looking for it, they won't tell you. But I'm telling you. Resourceful. When I say resourceful, what do I mean? Being resourceful means the ability to quickly have ideas that solve problems. Ideas to solve problems. Ability to solve problems. And don't forget, Genesis chapter 2, the Bible says that he saw that the man was lonely. And then he said, let me make him a helpmeet. God said, let me make Adam a helpmeet. God saw in the man, the first man, that he needed what? A helpmeet. And whether you like it or not, that was Adam. Every man till today, deep down in their mind, they are looking for helpmeets. So, present yourself as a solution provider. When he shares a challenge with you and you sleep over it, by morning, you should have an idea that will solve that problem. By morning. See, it is not hard. You have it naturally by default as a woman. Because that's what you are created to be. A helpmate. So God has put it, even science has proven it, that women are smarter in reasoning than men. There's something that they said about the brain, left side and right side, whatever, that makes women think smarter. So it's not coincidence. God did it deliberately because he wired you to be a helpmate. And he knows that the man works. In the course of working, he will encounter challenges. So there is a helpmate that should always proffer solution to his challenges. So every man you see deep down in his heart is looking for somebody that is a solution provider. Not the one that wears short skirts. The one that wears hair. The one that is saying, take me to club. The one that is saying, let's hang out. What are those languages? I'm not used to it. They will do all those things, but they will not easily marry you because they know that this one will not solve my problems. Liability. They're looking for helpmates. They're looking for integrity. Those are the things they look for deep down in their mind. Amen. Yeah. So by the time he tells you a challenge, and to him it's impossible to solve it, and by the time, that's another reason why you should get closer to God, because you see, ideas come from God. It comes from God. When you sleep, God will drop an idea, and by the time you share it with him, that's the end. It will solve it. And learn to pray. You must be a praying woman. Listen, if you're married, listen to me. If you're a praying woman, you always pray for your husband. You discover that God will be showing you things about your husband. And when your husband has a challenge, through you, God will give him ideas on how to solve it. Because it's not eye service. With or without him there, you always pray for him. So God has seen your heart that you want his best. You want him to succeed. So truly, God will bring the solution to his challenges through you. God will trust you with it. Because in the private, he has seen that sincerely you want him to succeed. So when you always pray to God about him, he has a challenge, God will speak to your heart. Me, by the mercies of God, I've grown to a level where I don't even need to sleep. Sometimes when daddy shares some things with me, all I need is just sit down in a while. And once I sit down in a while, somehow the idea will drop. Tell him, try this thing now. Have you tried this thing? Grow yourself to that level that the guy has a challenge, you give him solution. The second one, he has a challenge, you give him solution and it works. You now say, we'll go and look for another person. How? That type, he will be in a hurry. He doesn't want another person to go. Why? He has seen treasure in you. Because he knows that he will keep having challenge as a man that works. So this one, he wants to keep it as a solution, permanent solution provider. Praise the Lord. Finally, be hardworking. I will stop here. Stay married. I won't have time to handle it. But the Lord will give us grace in the name of Jesus. Be hardworking. No man wants a liability. Amen. Be hardworking. The proverb says one woman was very hardworking. Be hardworking. What are you doing to support him? There must be something that you are doing. No matter how small, start something. Just grow from there. Be a blessing. So that at least he knows within his heart that someday, maybe the day he's having financial challenge, at least there's somebody that can, still sustain the family for a while. Be hardworking. When a man looks at you and you have these three factors: integrity, you are resourceful, you are hardworking. They always appear to be like they want the flashy part of the qualities. Yes, they want it truly, but for the playing. Playboys, they want it. But when they are serious with themselves and they tell themselves the truth, it's time to marry. I don't want to cite some examples. There are some people that I know that do all those plenty, many girls around them. But when they were serious and want to marry, it's the person that you did not expect that they will end up marrying. I've seen many cases, many. So it's not all those things. Integrity, resourceful, a solution provider, and then you're hardworking. I told them in Quiz Summit, I said, marriage is not a one-sided thing. It's not like they've arranged the dining table and they're saying, come and eat. No. Marriage is, I bring my own, you bring your own, we eat together. So you must have something to offer.